Facebook.
What up, Facebook? Brandon Orr, Reclaiming Lives Recovery Cafe. Believe it or not, but this is episode 32. This is 32 of these, dude.
Wow, really?
Yeah, bro.
You've been counting?
Well, yeah. Absolutely, I have.
Are we gonna put them on Netflix or what?
The old YouTube-ish. I had the commissioner tell me he wanted my autograph for these. Just want to throw that out there.
Oh, Lord.
Put that out there. Who else can say that? I love it. Stop, right? Hey, you guys, I'm super glad you guys can make it today. Today we got a rock star in recovery with us today. Say something. Kim Strawn. We're going to have a great conversation and ask her a few questions that she doesn't even know we're about to ask her yet, so I'm super excited. Kim has been a friend of mine for quite some time. We ran through the mud together, and when I first got out of prison, like every person, I made a Facebook, and Kim was one of the first friends that I friended, and she friended me back like that, because if you don't know Kim, she's always on Facebook. But but the first thing she said to me was, Oxford? You gonna get to Oxford? And at first I'm like, no. And like that showed me, like right there, like she knew how she has a way with helping people that she doesn't even know she has. She would say that she's not personable, but she absolutely is. She loves the still suffering addict. She loves people in recovery. She just absolutely gives her all, even when she doesn't want to, even if she's going to throw a little fit about it. She just does it. And it's just, that's great. It just speaks volumes and shows where she's at in her recovery. So Kim, I'm super glad that you chose to be with us today.
Yeah, I'm glad that you guys chose me. I just knew that it was like a matter of time before you were going to be like, so are you going to be on Facebook Live today? And I was going to have to not say no.
Well, usually it's like we call ahead of time for people. Like we plan ahead, but
I feel like each week I'm like, is Brandon gonna call me and ask me? And if he is gonna call me and ask me, like, how much time ahead is he gonna give me?
Yeah, and today was...
You're doing great. You asked me this morning.
And today was at 9 o'clock. Because I don't want you to have to think it. Just say yes, get your butt down here, let's get this show on the road.
Yeah, I knew that I couldn't say no. There wasn't a way that I could say no. And luckily I work at a place where they are flexible and they support my recovery, and they wouldn't tell me that I couldn't come down here either. Right. So that's great.
Yeah, so thank you guys over there at the RV place where she works. You want to go give them a shout out?
All RV needs, if you guys want to buy a trailer, come on down.
Promotion, message, you know what I mean? No, but we do appreciate you willing to show up here. And you show up, without a doubt to anything recovery. And like, there's something about Kim that I told her today that sticks out to me pretty hard. Like, even if it's not her sponsee, even if it's not somebody that, like she buys coins and celebrates recovery time more than anybody I know. I forgot to close those windows. I'm doing great today. I'm doing great today. But it just shows like where she's at in her recovery and what it means to celebrate, milestones in your recovery. What drives you to want to do that? Like I don't see anybody else really doing that.
The biggest thing for me is that I just want people to realize like how important each milestone is. Like I know that in the beginning of my recovery, I didn't get connected with people in the program, and I kind of isolated the first like year, and then kind of like started to get my way into the rooms after a year. And so I know that like I didn't have anybody there like showing me, like, I mean, I had, certain people that were proud of me in the very beginning, but I didn't have, like that person back there. I'm like, yeah, you got this, you know what I mean? Get that money, all those fun things to say to someone when they have a milestone. And I just don't want anyone to ever not feel like they're just a year is not that important. Like, that's awesome. Like, you have to remember like how amazing you are and how much of an accomplishment that is. Because when you see people with other like more clean time, you're like, oh, well, amounts. I'm, only at this stage. You're not only at that stage. Like, you're a miracle. You need to recognize that. And I don't want anyone to not feel like they're not recognized.
Right.
I feel like it's an important thing.
And that goes for 24 hours. Yeah. Like, if you have a desire to want to stop using a substance or alcohol or whatever it may be, and it's been challenging in your life for a significant amount of time, and you take that first step, like right then, boom, there's drive. Right then, boom, there's desire. Right then, boom, you have a chance at succeeding. And that's something Kim's great at, is like pointing that out to people. Like she got me a coin once, dude, and I didn't know that she got it for me when I got my 18 months.
I've gotten you a few.
Yeah, but I'm talking about that one specifically. You and my cousin did. And like, I knew my cousin had, but I didn't know that you did. You're just super sneaky, stealthy like. And like, of course I had a little tear my cousin did, but like, I was already warned about, not warned, but I was already told about that. So I expect, but I didn't know that you did. And I was just like, Kim, man. And it just like, it shows me where I was at in my recovery. And like, it really, like, I still have it, and I look at it all the time. It's in my top drawer, dude, where I keep all my coins. And and then I watch you do it for other people all the time. Like, I bet you bought more coins than Aria.
Maybe not that many. Don't be saying that, because then someone might expect me to give them a coin tomorrow, and I'm
if you guys need a coin, call Kim. If you don't know how to get a hold of her, you can't get a coin.
I'm actually like, and during this whole COVID thing, and people not being able to get coins or whatever the problem, like I've been giving out like some of my stock load, you know.
You did for me.
Yeah, and it's hard because you're like, I don't want to get rid of my coin, you know. But I have, like, thankfully I have some, like I have a lot of 4-year coins. So if anybody's having 4 years anytime soon, like hit me up. I got you. I got one in my car even. But like, yeah, I'm like not running out of coins. Like, I'm happy to give away my coins, you know. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of like the beginning coins, like my 3, 4, 5 year mark. I have more of those, you know, but I think it's important.
You guys might remember on my 3 years, Kim came on with me and gave me one of her coins. It's, dang it.
On your coffee table?
Can't stand her sometimes. It meant the world to me.
With the poker chips?
Yeah, it is. It's definitely right there, and it sits out, and I use it, you know, to remind myself where I'm at in my recovery. To me, it's not about how much clean time you have. It's about what you've done with your clean time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I look at that and I think about the milestones and steps that I've done in my recovery to be able to sit on a couch with you today after we've sat on couches super sick. And now we get to sit here and spread the message of recovery and the message of hope, which like is going to continue.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, what have you done with your clean time? What are you proud about your clean time? Like, you've got...
I tried to downplay this before I got here.
You've got years. I tried to downplay this.
I did. So, what have I done in my recovery?
Let me change this real quick. What have you found? Because you've got a significant amount of clean time now.
I got some years.
Yeah, you got a couple years now. What have you found to be the most? What have you found the most struggles with in the middle of during your clean time?
Okay, like what I've gone through, struggled, and got through.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so 6 months into getting clean, my father died, and
sorry.
And like, people have these reservations in their recovery, like, oh, if so and so dies, I'm definitely going to go out and get loaded. Or if so and so breaks up with me, I'm going to go get loaded. And those are things that don't have to happen. Like, you don't have to get loaded over those things. So when my father passed away, a couple members of my family were a little bit concerned, like, I don't want to like offend you, but are we going to have to worry that you're going to go back out and get loaded? And then it's like, absolutely not. Like, that was the last thing on my mind, was to get loaded after my dad had passed away, because my father was an addict as well. He was an alcoholic, and I feel like me staying clean, I'm not just doing it for me, but I'm doing it for my dad too, because he wasn't able to do that. And it's really important for me to be that shining light for other people, to know that you don't have to get loaded over those things. And that's something that's really important to me in my recovery, because I knew that it could either make or break me. And at that point is when like I slightly like would hit a meeting or two. Like I didn't have like the means to get to a meeting, which I know is no excuse. But at that point I was just keeping away from everybody because I didn't really trust people and I didn't really know clean people. And so that, I mean, that was like one of the hardest things I've ever had to go through, clean.
Before you go on, how neat was it that your father got to see you clean when you got to
that was, yeah, absolutely. Because me and my dad had struggled together.
Mm-hmm.
We had lived together, both struggling and
enabling one another.
Yeah, and we both got to, or I mean, he got to see me clean before he passed away. Yeah, and I'm so grateful that I was clean when it happened, you know, because I got to sit there and hold my dad's hand for his last dying breath. Like that was me, and I got to do that clear-minded. So I don't have to sit here and live in like regret that I was loaded or something. Like that would be terrible. I don't know if I could deal with the mental thing.
Breakdown, right?
Yeah,
The mental physicality of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm super grateful that my dad got to see me clean before he had passed.
Thank you for sharing that one with us.
Yeah, that and so from there, you know, I went through a divorce while I was clean. You know, I had to deal with a significant other that was getting loaded while I was clean, and you know that's not the easiest situation to deal with. But I got through that clean, and I used the tools that I saw other people in recovery using, and I applied it to my own life. And I got to do it in a healthy way. I've also got to, you know, do the 12 steps with my sponsor. I've got to work through all of those things through the 12 steps. All of the emotions and feelings from all of those things, I've got to work through those things. I was able to finish my 12 steps by the end of last year. I've only done one set as I kind of was a late bloomer. I didn't get a sponsor until I was 2 years clean. Not saying that that's suggested, but I white knuckled it for 2 years. And the sponsor that I have today is amazing. And,
yeah, she is.
And she works with me. She guides me. She's there for me. The Lord knew that I needed her in my life when she came in my life. I'm super grateful for her. I am on the traditions now. I can't say that I've done any of the questions lately, but I will get there.
You're dang right.
I became a sponsor last year, and I'm super grateful for that too, because she, even though I'm the one with more clean time or whatever, like she still helps guide me and show me, like, you know, like I don't have it all together sometimes. You know, I come to her sometimes. Like there's times where I'm going to her for questions, and it's like, wait, isn't this supposed to be the other way around?
I've actually done that before. But
I do that.
Yeah, I was going through some things and I was like, I called my sponsor, and he's like, I need you for a minute. So I'm like, oh, weird.
Yeah, and she's even like, you're calling me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, I'm calling you because I don't know what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, all of those things are just, it's beautiful blessings of the program. I've definitely got to see a lot of people get clean and that I love and care about that I knew before, like Brandon. Like I was the one that was already clean, and then I have these friends coming out of prison and I see them like, and I he's right, like I would message him like, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do with your life now? Or sometimes my first question is like, so are you gonna stay clean this time?
Yeah, I think that was your first question. I can look back.
Are you gonna do this life thing with me? Like, yeah. Are you like, do you want to go to a meeting? I'm always the one that's like, so did you want to go to a meeting then?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have some friends that I mean,
no addict left behind.
They say to, that's true. They say to like stick around people that have more clean time or something that you want, and I kind of did like the reverse thing and like kind of just like took people under my wing and would be like, come hang out with me, you know, because I want them to have the life that I have. I want them to have the freedom that I have. I want them to love their life like I do, you know. And I think it's super important to reach out to your friends and make sure that they're doing okay, and like, hey, do you need something? Hey, how are you doing? You know, it's important. Because sometimes you're like, yeah, you're doing good and all, but you're kind of like in your head at the same time, and like me, I like to just suffer in silence, you know, and I'm not saying that that's really the best thing to do. So that's why I'm saying it's important to reach out to your friends. You know what I mean? When they're a little silent too long, you might want to be hitting up your girl.
But just you know what I'm saying? Yell. The things that not just myself, but I know a lot of us out here. Most of Mount Pitt, you know, you have a lot of friends in recovery, and there's a reason for that. It's because you put yourself out there often. Like I just said a second ago, no ag left behind. Remember, we used to use that motto. Like,
yeah.
We would pick people up no matter where they were at. You know,
car full.
Oh, Red Bulls and car fulls, dude. Like,
yeah.
We used to go.
Can you fit in the hatchback?
Yeah.
Because that's where you're sitting for the candlelight.
Yep, absolutely. And like, you know, those things you shared aren't easy to go through, but you were able to walk through them. And I hope that people like got something out of that, because you're going to go through times where it doesn't feel real, and that you know that there's an easier way out. But I promise you that way that you're thinking is not the easiest way out. It's just the most convenient for you at the time. What's going to happen is you're going to end up doing the same old shit that you done, going back to the same old life that you lived. They say that if nothing changes, nothing changes. So like, reach out. You got to call. You got to let us know that you're feeling feelings right now. Feeling feelings.
I've been feeling all of the feelings. Okay, like I know how to feel all the feelings.
Yeah, right. And like, we've been able to walk.
And it's just like you have to go through a course of the feelings too, and you just have to let it happen.
Imagine if we had like a feelings chart on the wall where those,
it would be all
those
of the
stupid
things.
Faces that are up there, you know,
like you're in second grade.
Yeah, and you walk up and like every year, like you look at them and cross off one that you've had every year, and like the only one that's like left is like I don't depression. It's like there's that. It's like they're all crossed off, because you're gonna go through all the feelings through your days. I mean, like, it's gonna happen, and that's how you grow, and that's how you're able to help the person that needs you the most at that specific time. It's not this ain't no cakewalk, like our pastor says, you know, like
this faith walk ain't no cakewalk.
You know what I mean? Like it's real. But if you're able to walk through those and gain one more day, you have one more day of success under your belt. Kim, so I kind of segued away from the question. I know that you have a really awesome brain that thinks multiple things, because you're a pretty crazy woman. What are some of the things you're proud of in your recovery?
I am proud of myself, first and foremost. You know,
I'm freaking proud of you.
I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't be at this point.
You ain't lying, Blair.
I had to throw a little Brandon in there.
Yeah.
I'm proud of myself for reaching out and turning to the Lord last year, because during this whole recovery process of my life, you know, I had some feelings behind like losing my father, you know, like, why would you take my dad away? But I'm grateful. This sounds terrible, but like, I'm grateful that my dad is up there and not here.
Right.
Because he was struggling so much while he was here, you know? So it took me a while to turn back to faith and church and God, you know, all of those things. And luckily I have someone in my life that I've been friends with for a long time that was able to bring me back into her church. And I was able to, my friend Cipriana.
Love you, Stormy.
Her family has always, you know, they've believed in me. And I was able to be saved last year. My pastor, Chris Gerlach, he baptized me last summer with this guy.
Same timesies.
I'll tell you what, like, ever since I've had the Lord in my life this last year, things are so much different for me in my recovery. Like, you know, I've always been the willing recovering addict, as my sponsor would say, but I feel like I'm even more willing. And I know that if I didn't have the relationship that I had with the Lord today, that I would be miserable right now.
Mm-hmm. Can I say one thing? I think you used to be the settling recovering addict, and now you're the willing recovering addict.
Yeah.
Like, you said, whatever, fine. Now you're like, absolutely.
Well, because I had a really hardened heart, a very hardened heart for some years in recovery. Like, I was this happy person, but at the same time, like, I was a salty, unhappy person, like, deep down.
Right.
And now I just have so much love for people, and I always shut that off. Like, no, I'm not that loving. Like, I don't, no. But I mean, everybody knew deep down that it was there.
You know,
I'm a softie.
I gotta say, so
I said it on live.
Yeah, it's legit now, and there ain't no editing this. But I gotta say, like, I've got to watch you in many forms of life, and this last year, like right before we were baptized, I was watching you, and we were in Bible study one time, and like, you were only focused on what Pastor was saying. You were writing so much stuff down, and like, I totally lost what Pastor was saying because I was focused on what you were doing. And the things you were writing down were significant for life. And I like Stephanie does it all the time. She'll write something down so she remembers it. Like, I'm trying to learn how to do that, but I'm having a hard time doing that.
You have to know how to write first.
Bro, you ain't lying, man. That's the problem too. But like, I was reading some of those things that you were doing. I'm just like, damn, she's really gonna do this.
And I learned that from Cipriana.
She writes.
Yeah, because I see her doing it. I'm like, oh, that's what I need to be doing.
Yeah.
You know? And it hasn't gone wrong, so
Right.
obviously it's the good things to be doing.
And I got to watch you in this last year walk through a couple situations that, you know, I'm very proud of you. You know, you're a strong woman in recovery. You're a strong woman in life, and you're one of my strongest friends. And like, I couldn't imagine the cafe without you. Do you remember the first time you walked into the cafe? Do you remember what that felt like? Can you tell us a little bit about what that felt like?
Well, I just wanted to know, like, what was going on.
Because a
Like,
woman in
I'm not-
recovery, she does these recovery things. She shows up to events.
Because, like, I'm so, like, OCD, like, schedule, like, I need to know, like, the breakdown of like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I kept asking, like, what do I do? Do I need to sign this paper? Okay, I'll do that, you know? And I was a little intimidated, honestly.
Right. I mean,
Which I don't know why, because, like, I pretty much knew everybody.
Yeah, here's something, except, I mean, you knew Stephanie, but what about the first time you heard her story?
When I heard Stephanie's story?
About
When I
why
heard
she-
Stephanie, because I had seen her, like, in the background here and there, you know? And I was just like, why is this normie here?
Yeah, right?
What is she doing?
Does
But
she
then-
know what she's getting into?
Yeah, and why does she want to be around people like Brandon, you know?
All day.
All the time. And then I was
Still
just
baffling.
like, what a loving heart for someone to have so much love for people that don't even know how to love themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just amazing to me because it's hard enough for us addicts to love each other, you know?
Oh, man, dude.
And then we always say, I'm going to love you till you love yourself and all the things. Like, but we say that. Like, normies don't be saying that thing. You know,
And meaning it.
Yeah.
And meaning it with, like, all their
Yeah,
heart.
absolutely. Like,
It's pretty-
that, I was kind of dumbfounded, honestly.
Right. That's, you know, and
Because it's a risk. It's kind of risky. And not only that, but you're going to love that person so hard and they could just turn their back on you. And then you're going to be like, you're going to be crushed. And that's the risk she's willing to take.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And
like,
that's a big risk because when your heart hurts because someone's out there getting loaded, it's the worst feeling because you're completely powerless and all you can do is turn to the Lord and hope that they come back.
oh, frickin' Stephanie. I don't know about you sometimes. All I know is this much. Like, Kim, like, since you've been a part of the cafe, you've been real present for your circle. In church, you're very present. Are you doing discipleship now too?
No, I'm trying to attend, women's Bible study on Saturdays, but I've been working lately, so I try to like put it on speakerphone while I'm at my desk, and then they just all talk, and I like try to work. And I still attend Lighthouse, when they open back up, but like on Wednesday nights I'll do Bible study there, and I kind of church hop.
So you do. Take notes, people. Okay, take notes. Like, she does steps, traditions, word. She gets into everything that would better her life. And I got to tell you, like, since that time, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. And you're probably one of the strongest women in recovery I absolutely know. Besides Lori, but she's
in my lineage, so it makes sense.
Lori's got decades, though.
Yeah,
I mean, she's strong, but, like, you're probably one of the strongest women I know in recovery. And it was just so awesome to see you. I haven't got to do this in a while, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. Is there anything you'd like to say, Stephanie?
You're so ridiculous.
I know.
So,
Because I know Stephanie loves you.
get on the camera with you.
Oh, this is a big step. She doesn't like this.
Yeah, well, I'm getting better. No, I just love you so much. Yeah. I mean, everything Brandon said, you know, about how strong you are in your recovery and the example you are to others. Like,
Yeah.
I know in the beginning you were kind of like, what is this place and what do you do here and how is it really helping? But then I
Right.
think when you really committed to the circle and
Yeah.
understood the relationships that are being built in those small groups and what that brings to you personally and then what you can give back, which is
Right.
the whole concept of what we do here is how the relationships are formed, and it's not about one person having more clean time. I love that
Right,
part
no.
that you said, like
Yeah.
everybody's clean time is valuable, and you know, so much guilt and shame goes into relapse and loss of clean time, and really it's still there, you know, just circling back and maybe readjusting the recovery plan, but your
Right.
life experience and what you've been through and just, you know, all of your vulnerability and then your heart, I just love you so
I
much.
love you too. I'm happy to be
Yeah.
a part of the circle. Yeah, and at first, like, just wasn't, like, too sure. But then I have to step back and realize it's not about me.
Right.
It's not about me going there and getting something. That's not what it's about for me. It's about me going there and getting someone else getting something from me. And I need to remember that, and it's hard for me to remember that sometimes. But it's like, you have to remember that something you say today could save someone's life. And that's all that matters.
Mhm.
You know, I want to say from way back here real quick, I was really curious to see how that was going to work with you and Jane Kolb in the same circle. Because you guys are so similar in so many ways and so
Big
strong-headed.
personalities.
They have,
Two
like, so
big personalities.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hey, with so much clean time between the both of them,
Yeah.
and then it's like oh man, but I tell you what, like, that's a powerhouse circle. Like, you guys have a powerhouse circle. Like, I want to just put a camera up in here, but I can't just watch a circle go to town, dude, because, like, I'm
You
so...
don't want to do that.
I just love you guys, and Sarah's a big part of what we do here. Just, like, I even told Stephanie, I'm like, on your paper, I said, does that really say Sarah's Circle? I was like, oh, this is going to be great. But you guys make it work well, and you guys, you know, like, you guys have a really good circle.
We do. I like my circle, personally.
I love you so much.
Well, I love calling you my friend, and you know, we're getting closer.
We are. We're getting closer. We're getting there. We
Yeah.
won't hug just yet, but we're getting there.
Well, when COVID's over, you will.
You know,
I'll be hugging you.
Oh, I'd be hugging you.
I have to gain the respect of the people in recovery.
Oh, you got it. Trust me, you got it. You're definitely
Yeah,
more...
do you have any felonies?
Nor me,
If
as
you don't
the-
have any felonies, I can't hang out with you.
I know a lot of people who do, and they are some of my faves.
Yeah.
You haven't even worked your first 2 steps or no felonies? I don't know
I
yet.
probably
Wait,
worked
okay, I don't
the
have any
steps,
felonies
just not in
either.
order and maybe not in the full sense. But
Right.
Yeah.
So this is the type of this is how it is when you come down to Recovery Cafe here. You know, we love, we laugh, we live, we smile, we grow, we encourage growth. We want you to belong. We want to have people, bring people on here to inspire. We can't say enough about how proud we are of you, Kim, and we're just super grateful that we had you on today. And I know you got to get back to work. So is there anything you want to say to the maybe still suffering addict, somebody who's unsure about which way to go or anything like that, that you may have some type of encouraging words before we go?
I would suggest for them to reach out. You can reach out to me. You can find me on Facebook. Obviously, as Brandon said, I'm on there all the time. But just know your worth. Know that you're worth getting clean. Like, who cares of all the bad stuff that you've done? You can start over. You can always start over. Don't
It's like
ever
to do it.
downplay yourself. Recognize the little milestones. Like, those are all important things that people forget to recognize. And if anyone didn't tell you that they loved you today, I love you.
Aww.
We all love you. All right, you guys.
Bye, Facebook.
Thank you
for
guys.
tuning in.
Thank you guys very much. We got a special guest for you guys coming up just in a couple days, all right?
Woo.
We love you.
Thursday.
God bless.